But you said, nah, this need to be you.
That's who you are.
Yeah.
Come on, Slime.
You laugh like that?
Nah, not like that, Slime. Come on. I ain't
By the way, the war report.
And you write the book and said N.O.R.E. somebody.
N.O.R.E. didn't mind that. He didn't mind that.
N.O.R.E. my mama mistake.
N.O.R.E. was like, how come I tell people that when no one cares, but when Prodigy says it?
What you mean, how you a mistake? The ground.
Capone just dropped a bombshell, finally airing out the truth behind the tension between N.O.R.E. and Prodigy. And now the streets are buzzing with one big question. Was N.O.R.E. really part of a bigger plot to take Prodigy down? For the longest time, folks brushed off the static between Mobb Deep and Capone and N.O.R.E. as regular rap beef. Some prison gossip here, a little miscommunication there. Classic Queensbridge drama.
They calling and saying, yo, Prodigy doesn't want to be a part of the record anymore. So we left Prodigy on the hook. We took his verse off.
But now, things ain't looking so simple. Fans are starting to piece it all together, and the picture they're painting makes N.O.R.E. look like he might have had a hand in Prodigy's fall from grace. So what did Capone actually say that's making everybody side-eye N.O.R.E. right now? What was the real issue N.O.R.E. had with Prodigy? And yo, could he have been tapped in with the same shady industry forces that supposedly wanted Prodigy gone for good?
They put no. I gotta say that. I gotta say that because Marley wasn't privileged. Marley put in work.
Let's get into it. To really feel the weight of Capone's words, we gotta rewind. Back to the late 90s and early 2000s. That era was wild. Mobb Deep and CNN weren't just rap duos. They were certified street crews straight out of Queens. These weren't no industry-made artists. They earned their stripes.
I didn't know nothing about the crime. I wasn't Killer's co-defendant. I wasn't there when the crime happened. I ain't speak to him after. I ain't speak to nobody after. But I gave a fake statement. Hey, it happens. But I didn't put nothing in there to incriminate nobody. But at the end of the day, when it came time for go to trial, they try to use that shit. Like I gave a statement. But go ahead, it's a lie. I don't care. Because Prodigy tried to say, oh, he gotta, what'd he say? He gotta take it up with himself or some fun like that. I'm like, my man, I'm a G. Let me tell you something. I bust my gun to the fullest in the hood, man. I did my crimes. I went up north. So in that time, when all that's supposed to happen, right after that happened, I came right back to the hood. I didn't go nowhere and hide. I didn't dip from nobody. I was in your face. I was in everybody's face. Nobody had nothing to say. Killer came home. He seen me numerous times in the street. We kicked it. Me and Hav kicked it. Everything. The n*** you say I snitched on was in the streets with me. With me, man. With me. Like it's not a mystery that he was in the streets with me. Then when I go to jail, he goes and runs with the I was with before I went to jail. So come on, I can't be that much of a snitch, B, because I had ample time to say anything they wanted, to do anything they wanted. It's 17 years later, my dude. Now come find out you drop a book. You want to mention that. Yeah, everybody told me that to my face 20 years, 15 years ago. You could have told me that anyway. You could have tried to dead my career. But don't wait till now when you drop a book to try to glorify your life. Like it's all that crazy, like I'm just a snitch. I did my bid. I didn't do a bid just for holding my... I never got punched in my face while having a gun on me.
Now, Prodigy and N.O.R.E. were never tight like brothers or anything, but they had history. They shared tracks, hit the same stages, and moved in the same circles. On the outside, there was respect. But that quiet tension didn't last forever. Things took a wild turn in 2011 when Prodigy dropped his autobiography, My Infamous Life. That book shook the entire rap game to its core.
And we were talking about his book. He has his autobiography out right now.
Right.
And he definitely kept it real about everything from his point of view.
He did a lot of dry snitching, though.
From everything that happened.
He talked about people getting shot, people shooting,
Yeah, he
people
definitely
fighting.
did.
He said it, and you. I like the way you put it. You dry snitch ass. I like the way you put it. But
He didn't just hint at stuff, he named names. And one of those names was Capone. Straight up said Capone testified in a case linked to Havoc's brother, Killer Black. That alone had heads turning. Now, whether it was true or not almost didn't matter. Just printing that kind of accusation was enough to light the match.
So then he put out a statement Just getting back into New York after my Easter weekend with family and friends in Jersey. I left my phone at a gas station yesterday evening while on my way to Jersey after a glorious Knicks game. To all Mobb Deep fans, it's business as usual. It's Mobb Deep all day. My Twitter account at The Real Havoc will be down until further notice. The only other real account is at Prodigy Mobb Deep. Ignore the rest. 1.
So he talked all this tough talk on Twitter only to say that his phone got stolen at a gas station and somebody else was tweeting it. But when you look at the tweets, he was actually tweeting from the web, not even mobile web, just from the web. So even if your phone got stolen, it don't matter because you was tweeting from the web.
All right, so our boy N.O.R.E. actually...
Capone wasn't having it. He hit up interviews hot and ready, daring Prodigy to say it to his face. Call me a snitch right to my face if that's what you really believe. It was real heat. But fans weren't just sitting back either. They started asking the tough questions. Why would Capone even be on the stand in the first place if he wasn't involved?
Play the clip of this is Havoc, right?
This is Havoc.
Talking about Prodigy.
Yes.
We'll say allegedly just to cover our ass, but this is Havoc.
I don't got nothing against gay people and nothing like that, but I'm just saying, look, your son, look, watch, and then this in the jail, come out from the woodworks and they're gonna tell you what the he was doing. He gay. And I had to smack him like a month and a half ago. When we used to do him South by Southwest.
Now explain what he just said, Charlamagne.
He basically said that his former partner in rhyme, I don't want to say former because I guess they're still together, Prodigy is gay and there's dudes in the jail that are going to come out the woodworks and back up his story, and he actually smacked Prodigy a month and a half ago at the South by Southwest show.
And even if it wasn't snitching, why speak at all? That's not how real ones move in the streets. Then out of nowhere, N.O.R.E. jumps in. He sided with Charlamagne, co-signing the idea that Prodigy was dry snitching just for putting all that business in a published book. That added even more tension to the whole mess.
I think that it happened, things like this been happening over years. You've been hearing rumors. And even though, he probably going to come and he's going to deny it, I think that the crap will be let out the bag very soon.
But in a twist nobody expected, N.O.R.E. and Prodigy eventually squashed it all. On social media of all places. Prodigy came out first, trying to clear up the confusion. He posted, "I don't know why people are saying I beat N.O.R.E. up. Ha. That's not what my book says, and that's not what happened. Read before you speak."
It's definitely not a joke, man. It's a lot of real stuff going on out here in this world. Secret societies are real. It's definitely very obvious, that they're at work and it's at play in the music industry, in the food industry, politics. Everywhere you turn is everywhere. You just got to read the signs, you know what I mean? The writing on the wall, basically, is all in front of your face, you know what I'm saying? Once people just learn about it and do a little research about it all, they'll be able to see like, oh wow, I understand what's going on. And all this ritualistic and rituals on little, they kids doing satanic rituals. Like, this stuff is really going on in this world. Like, you know what I mean? You got sick people like Jeffrey Dahmer and different people like that. And I believe that it was a different background to it, why he was doing what he was doing. I think it was some ritualistic things going on.
Prodigy wasn't backing down, though. He made it clear, "I never said we won or lost in that confrontation. It happened, and I told the story. That's what autobiographies are for, real life."
Even though I was inside, locked in a prison, I wanted to show them that I still had no fear in my heart, about speaking my mind and letting people know what time it is. There's no reason for me to fear because it's really nothing. There's nothing they can do besides me, and I'm not afraid of that.
Period. He stood on what he wrote. No sugarcoating, no backing out. And surprisingly, N.O.R.E. came through with a chill response. My ninja. And just like that, it looked like the tension was finally laid to rest.
Now, I'm sorry to start with you with such a harsh question, but a lot of people, when they look at Prodigy's death, right, there's a lot of conspiracy theories that floats around that death. People actually say that it was an eggshell. Obviously, when I want to interview anybody, I Google everything, and people are saying, and then there's this video and you tell me if this is real or not, I don't know. A Prodigy and they're like Illuminati, a guy running up on the Illuminati and saying, you better not put out this video. You know,
somebody was ran up on
him, yeah, and he had the people had a mask on. Did you ever see this video?
Nah, it was a real video?
It was I don't know if it's a real video.
Up on him?
Yeah, they ran up on him and they was like, you know, you better not put this video out, whatever video that it is.
No more sneak disses, no more back and forths, or so we thought. Fast forward to 2012, and boom, the whole situation blew up again, this time from inside the camp. Havoc, Prodigy's own Mobb Deep partner, hopped on Twitter and dropped some of the wildest accusations the rap game had seen. He claimed Prodigy was gay, saying dude was writing love letters to other men while locked up. Havoc tweeted, I got ninjas in the jail system to back up that Prodigy was smashing homies in jail. Prodigy, prove me wrong, please. I got a big announcement and ninjas who was locked with him know the truth. Wild, right? But he didn't stop there. Havoc also said he had already smacked Prodigy and would do it again. He wrote, I had to smack P. Ask him. Let's do it one-on-one. Me and P. He's soft. Like, wow. He even went as far as calling Prodigy a Long Island B and started throwing shade on his Queensbridge roots. Straight violating. But just when it felt like things were past the point of no return, Havoc popped out again, this time with a whole new story. He said he didn't post any of that, claimed his phone was stolen and somebody else had been tweeting from it, but this is where it gets real messy. An audio clip leaked not long after, and guess what? It was Havoc himself on the recording, doubling down on everything. He repeated the wild claims about Prodigy's sexuality and admitted again that he had smacked him. No more blaming the phone. That was his voice. Clear as day, then boom. N.O.R.E. jumped back into the mix. And instead of staying neutral, he stirred it all up again by confirming that, yeah, that voice on the clip, that was definitely Havoc. But he didn't stop there. N.O.R.E. added some slick shade aimed right at Prodigy, saying something cryptic like, the cat's gonna be let out of the bag soon. Like, what bag, N.O.R.E.? What you trying to say? Later though, N.O.R.E. tried to backpedal. He claimed he was just playing around and didn't mean anything serious. And when someone asked him straight up if he believed what Havoc said about Prodigy's sexuality, he didn't confirm or deny it. All he said was, ask Havoc. That answer had the internet in shambles. At that point, the rumor mill was on full blast. Some fans were saying it was all staged to boost attention, a clout move. Even Prodigy himself later admitted that they milked the drama. But others felt like this wasn't just showbiz. It was personal, deep-rooted stuff. And now in the present day, it looks like another rift is brewing, this time between Capone and N.O.R.E. Word is, Capone's been pulling back, staying low, keeping his distance. Folks close to the camp say he ain't been tapping in with N.O.R.E. like he used to. Word on the street is Capone's been low-key venting to people behind the scenes, saying he's not feeling how N.O.R.E. moves in the industry or the shady folks he's been hanging with lately. And when you line it all up, things start looking real suspicious. Let's not forget, Prodigy wasn't scared to speak out. For years, he called out everybody, record labels, the prison system, corrupt politics, even secret societies. He wasn't hiding behind bars or subliminals either. He went all in, dropping names and exposing what he claimed was the dark truth about the elites who run the music game. He talked openly about how powerful people in the industry were involved in straight-up disturbing stuff behind closed doors. And he warned people, if exposing the truth meant death, he was ready for it. That's how serious he was. And then boom, 2017 hits and suddenly Prodigy's dead. The official report? He choked on an egg in a hospital bed. Come on now. Fans were immediately side-eyeing that whole story because it just didn't add up, especially since at the time, Prodigy was working on a musical, and not just any musical, one exposing the Illuminati. Yeah, you heard that right. But here's where it gets cold. When N.O.R.E. was asked about it during an interview with Havoc, instead of diving deeper, he laughed it off, brushed it aside like it was just some wild conspiracy theory nonsense. And even tried nudging Havoc to agree with him and call it a joke too. That didn't sit right with a lot of people. Some think N.O.R.E. was just trying to protect his industry ties, but others believe he was running interference, trying to cover something up. Or worse, maybe he already knew what went down and didn't want that smoke. Maybe N.O.R.E. didn't help set Prodigy up in the literal sense, But what if he played a different role? The kind that's just as dangerous. The discrediting, the gaslighting, the isolation. When Prodigy was out here speaking truth and standing alone, where was N.O.R.E? Instead of having his back, he kept co-signing shady rumors, like those wild claims about Prodigy's sexuality, even after they supposedly made peace. So if it was all just jokes, why keep tossing Prodigy's name in the dirt? Why keep that dark cloud hovering over his legacy? That don't sound like brotherhood. That sounds like someone trying to keep a certain image alive, and not in a good way. And now, with Capone reportedly backing away from N.O.R.E, people are starting to connect new dots. Maybe Capone's finally seeing the bigger picture. Maybe he knows way more than he's let on. And this is his silent exit, his way of saying, I want no part in that mess. The cracks are showing, and it's clear this ain't just some forgotten rap beef. In an industry this cold, the ones who climb and stay on top are usually the ones who fall in line. Play the game, stay quiet, look the other way. But the ones who speak out, the ones who challenge the system, they either disappear from the spotlight or disappear altogether. And now folks are looking at Prodigy's death a whole different way. Choking on an egg? While working on an Illuminati musical? Meanwhile, N.O.R.E is sitting pretty with corporate deals and ties to Revolt, Diddy's empire. Coincidence? So now the question that's echoing louder than ever is this. Did N.O.R.E make it to the top because he sold out? Was N.O.R.E really just playing along to survive in the game? Or was he actually rewarded for helping silence someone who refused to bow down? Did he protect his spot by turning a blind eye? Or worse, by helping push Prodigy out when he got too loud? And when you look back at how he treated Prodigy, was it just harmless banter? Or was there something way darker hiding behind those laughs? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I need to hear what you think. Was N.O.R.E compromised? Did he trade loyalty for clout? Or was he just another player trying to keep from getting crushed? Make sure you like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who needs to hear the real story. I'll see you in the next one.